the past couple of years, we have not had a whole lot of reason to talk about Tornillo football. Way out west, rather.
Mm-hmm.
If you go along the Texas-Mexico border down south of El Paso, you will find the home of the Coyotes. We haven't had a lot of reason to talk about them. Boy, we got a lot of reason to talk about him today. He's our I-Coach, inspirational coach of the week for Class 3A. He's the head coach of the Tornillo Coyotes. It is Coach Cody Burris. Coach, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
The reason we're having you on, as you can probably guess, the Coyotes snapped their 29-game losing streak with an emphatic win over Anthony. And, Coach, just first and foremost, what was the scene like on Friday night? I mean, I'm sure everyone around that program knew what was going on. What was the scene like with the win?
It was great. You know, when I brought my kids in for summer workouts, and I posted it was 27 games at the time, and I posted that up in the weight room, and that was one of our goals, was to snap that streak at some point. And our community had just voted for a bond also this past year, and they voted to put us in a brand new stadium with turf and a brand new track, and just the whole thing, field house and everything. So just because of the build up for that, it was the first game in that stadium, and the kids responded well. There was just a crazy amount of energy going on that night.
It's exciting. We know you guys are very excited. I want to ask you about how you get these kids to keep buying in, because, you know, I think it's real easy. I've always said that it's real easy to motivate kids who are going out there and winning every week. But, you know, when you go for a couple of years without a win, how did you what was your message to your kids to just keep them motivated, keep them pushing?
Well, it started at the end of the school year last year, and off season, I took over the program, and I just told the kids, hey, you're going to have to work hard. That's the bottom line. And I think kids, I've told my coaching staff, and I tell anybody who I visit with, I think kids, they crave discipline and they crave structure. They may not tell you that, but they do crave it. And once you establish that, and they see the results of their hard work, and they see it paying off, you know, it's kind of like a snowball. It rolls and gets bigger, and that's where we are today. You know, the kids, we've got 60 kids in the program now, which I've been in Tornillo for 12 years, and I've been on some coaching staffs, but we've got 60 kids in the program, JV and varsity right now, and it's just getting bigger every week. So
we're talking with Cody Burris, the head coach of the Tornillo Coyotes, here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, I want to ask you about a couple of your kids who had particularly good games. You got a senior quarterback out there in Julian Flores, who had a very nice game for you guys, really led the offense. What is it about this young man that stands out to you?
His leadership. He's a senior, like you said, and you know, his passing efficiency is great this year. He's 30 for 43 going through 3 games, and he hasn't thrown an interception yet. You know, his average pass is about 14 yards a game, pass play, and he's just smart with the ball. He knows how to read the defense, and my offensive coordinator, Coach Borjas, he sees a lot of things up in the press box, and when I relay down to Julian what we're looking for, he picks up on it really well. So he truly is an inspiration to the kids. Tough kid, hard-nosed kid, and he works hard. So the team feeds off of him for sure.
I don't want to bring up what happened last year, but one of the biggest, I just want to draw a distinction here, that one of the things that you know, would let you guys snap the losing streak last year was your defense gave up 50 points a game. It was a defense that really struggled. You guys have clearly improved in that aspect. What's been the difference defensively for you guys in 2017?
Well, I told the staff, you know, when we started planning and doing things in the summer for this season, I said, hey, you know, and any football coach would tell you, half the battle's just lining up in the right spot. So we line up in the right spot, and we give these kids all the information they need during the week of, you know, tendencies, what to look for, and how to make their reads. And they've just bought in. You know, you got to fly around the football field. You can't think about it. You got to read and react. And they really have. They've taken that to heart. And like I said, the energy level is just amazing on both sides of the ball. But of course, for defense, that's what makes a huge difference. You know, energy.
Now I want to talk about you for a minute, because for folks who don't know, this is kind of your side gig. You have been the longtime basketball coach there at Tornillo. You took over the football team in the off season. I mean, have you ever thought about maybe doing this full time? You seem to be pretty good at it.
You know what? Football is it's a different kind of passion. I told my staff this week, I said, we were on the headsets and we were having a tough drive, I think it was last week against Cathedral, and I said, man, guys, I've yelled more in a football game more than I have ever yelled in my basketball career. So it sure is. You know, I told the kids this weekend, I said, guys, football's different. Mm-hmm. And I'm being a head coach. I love coaching you guys, but it's just you put so much into each week that when it comes to Friday night, your intensity, your energy level, and you just lay it all on the line, that it's just such a different kind of sport to coach. But I told somebody else last week too, I said, hey, coaching's coaching. You know, if you know what to do and you study with good coaches and you got a good staff around you, then coaching's coaching. And if the kids buy into what you're coaching, you're going to be all right. So I do enjoy it. I enjoy the heck out of it.
He's Cody Burris. He's the head coach of the Tornillo Coyotes here on Texas Football Today. You can involve the conversation at #TF Today. Now, one thing you did mention, and I think it is worth bringing up again, is that you guys did pass a bond, and you guys are one of the things you've been really you've really sunk your teeth into is kind of overseeing the overhaul of the facilities that you guys are going there. How important has that been? Not even necessarily to on-field results, but just to getting these kids feeling like, hey, we got something to play for here.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. You know, along with all my other duties for the past 3 years, I just gave up the job because of the football, and it takes so much time. But I was the interim facilities director also, so I got to design that stadium and the field house and the little intricate things, you know, that go into doing things like that. But the community, I have to thank them. They're the ones who passed that bond overwhelmingly. And they believed in us, you know. The kids, it's been a huge motivational and recruiting tool. Mm-hmm. And we just, like I said, we opened it up last week, and we only had one practice on it before the game. So you can imagine when people walked into that thing Friday night with everything looking like it did, it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing.
You know, we talked to a lot of coaches in like major metro areas and stuff like that. I feel like people may not necessarily appreciate just how, let's say, remote you guys are,
Right, yeah.
Especially in your district. I mean, you're playing teams like San Angelo Grape Creek, which that's luckily they come to you this year, but like. How do you handle that with these kids? I know they've grown up with it, but how do you handle the fact that, hey, we're gonna have to hop on the bus and go for 4 hours just to go play a football game?
Yeah, you know what? It's an advantage to us, and it's not just for football. This is for all of our sports. Our kids are so used to traveling, you know, getting on a bus and going 3 or 4 hours just to play an hour and a half football, volleyball, basketball game, whatever it is. But we are so used to it. When teams come to us, that, you know, it seems like it takes them a quarter to get going, or a drive or two to get going, or something like that. And the coaches even tell us, man, that's a long ways out here, you know. So our kids, like I said, they're used to it, and they see it. They love it. They love getting out of class and being on the bus and hanging out with their buddies. So for us, it has no effect that I've seen over the years, and we play well when we travel.
Well, that's certainly an advantage then, and now I want to ask you about you break the 29 game losing streak and the monkey's off your back, and now you turn your attention to Friday night, Clint Mountain View. I don't want to ask you to give away your game plan, but how are we going to start a winning streak?
Well, Coach Rundell over there at Mountain View, he's a good guy. I've been coaching against him, and you know, when he was at Anthony, when we had first when we were both playing up, we both played up a classification back then, but he does a great job with his kids. His kids are strong. They're usually pretty big. They got a great quarterback in Robles over there, but if we line up and we have enough energy and, and we be physical, you got to be physical with Mountain View. If we're physical enough, we'll be in the right spot to make some plays. And, our offense is getting better every week. We got Flores at the quarterback. Like I said, he's efficient, so I know he's going to do his job. And if we can get Gallegos, our running back, to the second level, man, he's big. He's carrying the ball for 9 yards a carry now. He's over at 118 for 118 a game. So, and my receiver Adolfo Sanchez, he's got 13 receptions for 200 yards. So, we've got some guys that can make plays on the offensive side. I just think on the defensive side, which we have been doing so far, we just got to be physical.
It's going to be special Friday night. And now I want to ask you, Coach. You've been the interim facilities director. You've been the football coach. You've been the basketball coach. Have you given any thought to principal? Have you given? I mean, what's the next step? You've pretty much taken on every job there. What's next?
I have, but I have no intentions. I tell everybody, when I went to school, I wanted to be a PE teacher and a coach, and that's where I'm going to stay. I do teach health and PE here, and I enjoy the heck out of that too. So I really don't want to. I don't want to lead a group of teachers yet. I still like leading the kids, and that's what I'm going to stick to for now.
He is Cody Burris. He's the head coach of the Tornillo Coyotes, who currently, if you are looking at the streak in the box score, it says W1. They got a 1-game winning streak going. Coach, really appreciate your time. Again, congratulations on the win. Go get them on Friday night.
Yes, sir, we will. Thanks you guys for checking in on us. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. There he goes, Cody Burris, the head coach at Tornillo.